All right, guys, here I'm going to follow up the Bitcoin video with an Ethereum vid here. We haven't looked at it for a while here on YouTube. And, of course, members, we've looked at it many times. And that's just kind of a reminder to any YouTube subs out there, if you want to know more about, how we're analyzing the market, what we're doing, and certainly more about our methodology, as I kind of hammered this in the Bitcoin video, you can join us for free. No commitment, no obligation. We're not going to spam the hell out of you, looking for you to join us. That's never our intention. Never has been. But if you want to, get more access to it, if you have questions, if you want to interact with the community, again, you join us for free, right? And then if you want to move to a paid membership, then at least you're making an informed decision rather than certainly I would always tell you never take my word for it. Ask the other members. Okay, with that said, it's fairly easy to do. You can just links underneath the video here in our link tree. It will take you to the website. Plans and pricing free will be right there. Hard to miss. Okay, with that said, let's take a look here at Ethereum here. Now, of course, it's going to be very similar, but I just know there's potential here for this to give us some clues into Bitcoin. So this exact same framing here of the geometry with a couple of exceptions. One, we've gone much farther here per Bitcoin. We didn't even make the upper parallel here. In Ethereum, we've got the 175 runner here nailing that pivot pretty remarkably. So it feels like the market is pulling its, heading back towards the median line. That would be a rational thought that, okay, if we're going to do this as a 3, much like Bitcoin, right? If we're going to do a flat, boy, would that make a beautiful flat. Now, a lot has to happen for that to get there, and the triangle just is valid here. Right? We're going A, B, we're going to do a C, D, maybe you get a little closer here. I'd be surprised if you didn't get there, but you shouldn't. You never know, right? There's no requirement that it gets there, but that's equally a contender. All the support here, like Bitcoin's 30K, is, we'll call it 18 in Ethereum. Now, there's a couple of things that are different here that are worth noting here, and just standard ops of what, well, of course, I know members have all done this. All right, let's kind of do a little measuring here, see how we look here. For length of the 1 projected from the 2. Well, what's interesting about this is, look what we got right here. Boom. That's 2618 to the tick. Now, that's log scale. Of course, you can't even measure it outside of log. Interesting, right? So we get a technical pivot here. The internal count here, this last rip up here is so impulsive. I think this is a much harder to case than I looked at one of the alternates in Bitcoin. It'd be a much harder case to make that was the 3 here. Not that it's not possible here, but when we look down here, the structure down here is a little bit different. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. So let's get you back over here. I think that's more probable. Now, so with that said here, in this kind of notation here that we've got that technical pivot here. Let's go to a 4-hour here. Now I'm going to take it out of log scale here. We don't have that same range here, so we can kind of dig in here. You can just kind of, all right, well, there's the support, much like Bitcoin. Again, now we get this is a tricky finish. The Elliotticians would likely, here, let me hide this. You'd likely have varying opinions of how to interpret this. What influences me is the 5 down. It's hard to, can you do it? Yeah, you can squeeze a 1, 2, 3, 4, but you get a little overlap. You can do it, but it feels like a force fit. The 5 down seems to be the most probable here. Now we do get this triangle so it would be A, B, C into the W. Now, unlike Bitcoin, we don't get truncation down here. So we oh shit, I guess I should label it. Thought I had A, B, C. All right, so there's our W. Right, A, B, C, D, E, underthrow in the E. Note the Vegas wave. Now here, because I kind of went off on this with Bitcoin here. Note here, the 233 is above the Vegas wave. Whoop, here's the flip. Almost flips. Flipped again, right here. So that's not insignificant. Now we are looking at that on the 4-hour here, but so if I go back to the daily, right, different story. All right, let's put it back on log. All right, here's the last flip. we're underneath the Vegas wave here. You can see what nice, it's just, I don't know why anyone wouldn't use this. It's such good, long-term, such good long-term support. Right? Where's the trend? Where's the trend? Right? Nope. It's going to take a lot deeper. It's going to need to, I mean, you could see it, right? If we're going to go C, D, E, you could see a potential flip. Not necessarily. This would have to drive down lower, and you might end up where they're on top of each other. All right, but let's go back to that 4 hour here, and I'll take it out of log here since we don't have that same range. It's not dramatically different, but let's dig in here, see how we might deal with this. No doubt, Elliotticians might very well differ here on how to count this. It gets a little squishy down here. So we have this giant W here. Oh, you can do it. You can do it either. Well, if you do it over here, then you actually do get a very slight truncation. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The A, B, C looks pretty solid. It's a shallow X, but it works, right? So there, then A, B, C to finish. Again, it's not the prettiest. Oh, shit, maybe you have to do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. All right, so you get a skinny little C. You see, now if you were here, right, and you're looking at that, is that your first thought here? Well, perhaps not, right? That wouldn't be the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That wouldn't be the first thing that occurred to you. But now, as we reflect with the benefit of hindsight, trying to figure out how we're going to label this to accommodate what comes, it's tempting to say, well, fuck, who cares, right? Who cares, right? So, I've had this conversation with a member this morning. These rules can be fucking annoying, right? They were just like, oh, come on, man, can't I? What, so I can't do. It can be annoying, but what you'll find is that over time, I mean, these rules are there for a reason. It will more often than not lead you into the proper analysis of when something is done or when something's starting or when something's in mid-correction. So while this is open to interpretation, again, 2 Elliotticians, 10 Elliotticians might give you a different count here. As we come through this, this would be, oh, come here. This would be, I never get that first click. Never, right? It's tough to call that anything but a 3. Really a tough, you're really maybe hitting the hopium pipe too much there if you're trying to squeeze that into a 5, right? So it's technical, we get target. Actually, you know what you can see here now since we've gone past the 23.6, right? This is part of how it was ultimately, this algo was identified. Here, I don't know if I'm right on it here. We're just shy of the 100, right? So there's your traditional measured move. Ideally, that looks like it's a front run here. We know this is an algorithm that's in the market, but it's a good example. Is that I've mentioned this before. Let's get this on here. That the fact that there was a pivot that was happening prior to getting to the 100 was, I think, how that was first identified as potentially an algo because it was happening so often. Did a whole webinar on that, but I digress. Okay, so we can get a WXY in here. ABC gives us a good contender for the B. Now this looks different than Bitcoin, and it's kind of forcing the count here. Because of this, this is, how do you deal with this, right? The structure sure looks like a 3, but the subdivision here is a bit wacky, and then you've got the waterfall here. Looks like you're solid with a 5 here. You're going to have to swing this as an A. Oh, come here. As an A, B, C into that B, and then waterfall into the C for the W. Now this is a little dicey as well. Well, you probably do this a couple of different ways. I look at it, see it here. When I originally looked at this, I wanted to put the X here, but this is where purists and I have some issue. Because to do it this way, you'd be counting it A, B, C, D, E. It actually looks like it fits better, but this would be problematic to a purist in that if it was A, B, C, D, that the D overlapped the pivot of the C. Now, granted, those are all wicks, but if you look at the count here, actually it actually plays better in my view. Purists, of course, going to disagree. So you get a descending triangle here. The only way you'd allow it is because that's all wick. kind of a judgment call. But it influences your thinking about what comes next, because if it were 1, 2, 3, 4, you're anticipating one more down for the 5, right? And then it would be W, X, A, B, C. Pardon me. So then we'd be A, B, C into a W. If this is X, we'd be in the A. We're working on B, and C would be coming lower. So you'd be expecting this down here. That's one of those, you got to make a judgment call there right now. So if you do it here, and I had this exchange with James M., who also gave us that good looking Bitcoin count, that we had to do it this way to avoid the D overlapping the A, B, C, D, right? We wouldn't want that overlap, in a pure Elliott wave triangle. But so if you do it this way, now you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, sure, it looks like it. We're going to just label it up, right? Why would you think anything other than this at this moment in time? Now, we don't know. Let's get that. We'll put it in blue here. Okay, so this, I think, solid as a W. You get a 5 here, but you get the extension in the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C into the B, A, B, C. This gets a little squishy. Now, I am on a 4-hour, right? You can clean it up a little bit. If you go down to a 30-minute, you can see it a little bit better. But what it leads to, if this becomes the X, right? Let's put this right here. If that becomes our X, well, there's a couple of things that you would start checking. So this looks like much like that resistance zone in Bitcoin. Makes you think there's an algo there. So let's dig in there and look. Let me go to a 2-hour here. Well, if we were just going to start checking pivots, there's the obvious one. Get you out of here. Get this back on. Right in the pocket where you would anticipate that. If this is 1, 2, this actually I'm bitching about purists here, but I think the depth here may end up playing better. So if that's A, B, C, D, E into the X. So what do we need here? Right, if this is W and that's X, we need an A, B, C. Well, we got a 5 underway. Right, so the implication would be we're coming down lower, and this has all got further to go. Because we'd be finishing here, I'm sure you Elliotticians here are already onto this pretty quickly, A, B, C is what we'd be thinking here. If we have this last leg down here to come down, now we don't know that it stops here. I'm just using that would be here I'll measure it. So if we take the length of the W and project it from the X. Let's do it that way. Well, let's do two things. Let's take the length of this one and project it from that 2. How does the 3 look? I mean, are there many videos where I don't show you that? Very few. Right, which makes you think, oh, okay, well then the purist is right, and I see kind of back where I was before, right? These will more often than not, by sticking to that hard rule set, will guide you into the right analysis. So, if you were thinking A, B, C, D, E, well then this doesn't play as well. If you're going to hold to rules and guidelines that the D can't overlap that, or A, B, C, D. We can't do it that way because of the overlap down here. We'd break the horizontal base of the descending triangle. If we do it this way, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, certainly the 1, 2, 3 is spot on. Makes you think, okay, well, certainly a contender for the 3. It wouldn't be unreasonable to think, oh, A, B, C, and we're done. But that means this has to be 1, 2, and we're going up for the A of the next leg. We shall see, right? The weekend may give us the last piece of the puzzle here. By the way, look at the Vegas wave. Vegas wave, right in the lips here. WX, well, either the ABC is in down here via this ABC, and the low is in here for this portion of the correction. Again, the implication being that the triangle is very much a candidate here. Well, then we could be in with the Y. Right? It could be done over here. W, X, A, B, C. Right? Now, I know I have it as a 1, 2, 3, but here, let's just look at the alternate. Gosh. Just have too much open. My machine's lagging a little bit. All right, but this, noteworthy. Right, so if you're trying to solve the puzzle, that's not without significance. Now, what happens next? Because this kind of looks more like an A. So one thought is that this is A, B, and we need another kick up for the C. Now, of course, we're going to pay attention to that wave 1 low. Make sure we don't overlap that, because right now it looks like an impulse would be underway per the 1-2 right to the 1618. 175 window. You'd be leaning into the idea that we're headed, this will likely complete as an impulse. Again, there's no requirement that the market do that, but let's look here from the 2 through the pivot of the 3. Well, we've just tagged the 50 to the tick. Now, for a 4, that's kind of where you want to see it, right? You really don't want a 618 and a 4, right? Just reduces the range of the 5. But look here what this would do for us. There's your algo target. Well, let's play that out. If it comes down here and we get our 5 here, where are we? Right, per this WX ABC. Well, the ABC is getting rather large relative to the WX. If this is ABC, to the first ABC. Again, not impossible. Just makes you pause for a second and say, does the structure look right there? Right now, as it sits, being at a log scale, I can draw. Here we can use a regression channel. If I come down from the proposed X wave here and just everything that I got here. As long as we stay in that channel, I'm looking for lower prices. I would be anticipating. Oh shit! Let's see what I'm on a 2 hour. Let's go down to a 30-minute. Do we have a decent 3 here? It looks more impulsive, does it not? I mean, look, we're tagging the here. Let's get it right on there. This looks like an impulse. So does this, right? So this looks like it. This could be A, B, C going in here. Right now, this is a little tricky in there. How would we count that? 1, 2. Well, what you can see here pretty clearly is this, right? We can get this little 5 here. Looks pretty solid. Let's go submicro, something you can see. Yellow. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I work backwards, well, that looks very 4-like, right? Because we just go sideways. It's just always a good way to say, well, what was it? There's not much subdivision in there. We just go sideways 4. So it looks like you'd have to do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get it up a degree. We'll go to green here. It looks like that might. God damn it. Okay. So it looks like I've got a decent candidate here for a 5 to be in. Now this is a little squishy, the subdivision here, but the basic structure here looks like 3, 4, 5, right? Particularly since I get that clear 5 here. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it as a diagonal. I don't even think it would work here. 1, 2, 3, 4 overlapping the 1. 5 is the A. This would be the B. That would be the C. I don't like that. For no other reason than just the channeling. Right? This all looks self-contained. So to turn this into an ABC, I mean, is it possible? Of course, yeah, it's possible. Obviously, right? Even just traditional channeling here looks better as a completed impulse. Now this looks like A, B, or oh shit, that looks like that could be W, X, Y into that pivot, and that looks technical. All right, so let's just stay with it. That's a little shy of a front run. You might have had this here as well. didn't get quite to target. Here's the 50. So we little front run here, maybe. That's a guess. You don't know, right? It's when they got to get a little closer. We said this, clearly that's an algo that's responding there. So if that's a 5, that's not likely to be our 4. Right? So either that's A, we're working through a shit. I suppose we'd have to do we overlap here? Let's see. We don't. So it looks like you can get a 5 in here as well. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what do we got? I got 5 up, 5 down. This is actually the better 5. Well, let's just check something here real quick. Here, I'm doing this on the fly. I always find myself thinking, God, I should probably prepare in advance, but then people tell me they like the on the fly thinking. Okay, so we're in the pocket here, and in fact, you could do it that way: A, B, C into the 4. We don't overlap. We're spared the overlap. Then you're coming down for the 5. So what are my choices here? Well, this could be A. We're doing a B here. C. Oh, let's come back out to a 2-hour here. Well, let's get some of this cleared up here. Okay, so we got this one we've established. This one's established. So I don't know that we're going to come to any definitive conclusion here either. But if we come back a little bit further from this, if we're thinking triangle, which I would tell you would be my primary thought on both of these. Let's get rid of these, all of this stuff here. So if we bring it back here, how we get this triangle to work? If there's one more leg down here, WX we can't finish that, right? We need an A, B, C. Well, if this is A going in now, and we're working on an A, B, C of a B to get to the C of the B, right? So you can kind of see that there's a couple of problems in this. Oh, this would be potentially the A, this would be the B, and this would be the C. Let me change that color so we don't get lost here. A, B, C. A, triangle B, pardon me, W, triangle X. 1, 2, 3, could be done. That would be C. Then you're done here. That seems a contender, but the market has to confirm it, right? Otherwise, you just heads I buy, tails I sell. Without confirmation, you're just winging it. You might get away with it. This is the one I'd be watching, right? When we come back here, if we're going to go that high, if this is going to be A, B, C, right? We just kind of went through this. If this is A and we're going to go A, B, C of a B, and then we're going to get a C right here, right? So remember we had 5 followed by 5. So how else could we interpret that? 5, A, B, C, right? A, B, C is what we'd be looking for if we're going to get that golden zone. Expectation, one more drive down. Now, you'd be completing an A wave here. It starts getting more bearish. In terms of the near term, W, X, A, B, I'll put it over here, C. All right, so the roadmap would be down for the C. Okay, so let's pull that back out. How do we look? Well, essentially, let's get that off. It plays pretty well. A, B, C, D, E. Boom. Put your 4 in here. So as this is happening, oh, I'm at a log scale, so I can just do a regression channel through everything I've got. This will be, well, this will be tricky. Because at this point in time, the masses will, of course, think the low's in. And could it be? Well, you could have a flat, right? You could do the same thing. We could have, well, let's see. How can we get that done? maybe we can't. We could have A, B. Now we need a 5 here, so I don't think we can, right? So it leads itself more to the triangle per the WXY, right? So we'd be 3, 3, 3. Jesus, my mouse. 3, 3. Then we're up. Both of them, there's the combination of, I titled the Bitcoin video this, you can almost feel people going, oh, fuck, Bitcoin, what happened to crypto? God damn. I was going to be rich. What happened? Triangles. Triangles, triangles, triangles. Right? They frustrate the bulls, frustrate the bears. Just about the time that everybody goes, oh, fuck, I don't know what we're doing. What is this? We're just range bound. That's when it goes. Boom. When everybody's just over it. Oh, of course, right, you could just look at this as all just a big reaccumulation. If indeed that's the direction we're going, you could probably pull some Wyckoff in here and say, all right, well, we got to we had the massive rip. There's a little distribution here as we reaccumulate down at these lows, somewhere in this range, and then off we go again. I mean, there's the triangle is, it's the sentiment. You can feel the sentiment right now, just across the markets, crypto, Twitter, the financial media. It's, well, I don't know what happened to crypto. Triangle. That's what I think. So we'll see how this unfolds here. We'll probably revisit this on the live stream on Monday. So again, one way to get content, stay current with how we're viewing the market is join us, right? Join us for free. Join us at the social, and you can post your own charts up here, and we'll go through them on a live scale or on a live stream. All right, so that's the other way to do it. So we think the pricing is pretty reasonable. And of course, you don't have to stay. You can come in for $49 for a month and post up, a whole lot of charts and get some feedback and see what your skill set is, and maybe you want to stick around and go after some of the belt system content. Okay, there you go, guys. This eventually will get some resolution here. Right now, path of least resistance appears to be down still. All right, we'll be back. We'll be back on Monday with a live stream. All assets members know that here. Those of you that have been watching, we appreciate it. Hopefully, you're getting something out of those. So we'll see you at 11:30 on Monday. Until then, you guys have a good weekend.